Magic and light with thee. This is Sika.
Flynn!
Oma!
Shreya!
And I'm your DM, Ethan. Welcome to Venture Forth. Previously, you all had been adventuring through the city of Solaris, a dwarven stronghold within the nation of Kaldur, a very lawful city, wary of anyone who does anything even remotely criminal. Leaving a dead guard in your wake, Olma trying to find Xavier, you guys fled back to the inn that you guys were staying at. You guys rested the night, Olma seeing an owl perched on the buildings across from you during the night. You guys woke the next morning, and Kellic, along with Thaddeus, went downstairs to see if they could find this mysterious contact who would be able to help them. Sitting in the corner, they saw a figure with an owl perched on their shoulder who introduced himself as Seeker to the group. He said that he had exactly what you guys needed, a couple of necklaces that would protect you guys from any sort of magical detection, but they were missing a key element, something that could be found close to Solaris, but just outside the city. And as you guys probably wanted to flee the city anyways, this sort of lined up exactly with your intentions. Seeker showed you guys a secret path through the city, down into the ground, into some abandoned mines underneath the city, and you guys began to flee. You guys walk down this corridor and seeing these not so abandoned temples to the old gods. Just these little altars that worship the old gods with campfires that were still warm to the touch, indicating that probably the night previous, some people had probably gathered down here in secret to pray to the old gods, where above ground it is completely outlawed. Moving further down, you guys had discovered Carrion Crawlers, these strange and almost transparent worm-like creatures that burrowed their way out of the ground. And after some swift moves by Flynn, you guys had all managed to dispatch these crawlers and heal. Now, with Shreya in his new form of a dire wolf and their new companion, the Seeker, at their side, you guys continue on down this tunnel. You guys travel down for another 1.5 miles, maybe 2 miles down this tunnel before a turn in the tunnel comes up. It doesn't turn left or right, but it begins to turn upward. And as you guys begin climbing this slope, a cave entrance appears in front of you. And as you guys walk towards it, you guys are greeted by the daylight hitting your face, and sort of looking around, you guys turn back towards the city of Solaris, and you can see the walls now in your rear view. You are now out of the city. So, coming up out of the ground, seeing the daylight once again, what would you guys like to do?
I'll never get used to the sting.
You okay, Kellic?
Yeah, I'm fine. I don't know why I react this way now.
React how?
Sunlight, it hurts my eyes. I don't know.
Maybe it was the worm?
No, I feel fine regarding that. It's just, might have been my eyes adjusted.
Yeah, that's probably what. Yeah.
I see well in the dark, so it's probably just.
Yeah, we were down there for a while.
Some biological, mechanical thing.
I'll turn to Seeker. How far to this water?
It is not exactly water we are going to. It is a temple. I suggest we start walking unless you have something you need to do.
Kellic, do you want to take a minute, take a breather, let your eyes adjust?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
I'll be fine. It's all good. Seeker, this temple, that city temple to?
What do you all know of the old gods?
Plenty.
Not really a whole lot.
Yeah, about the same there. Maybe in between.
I could tell you knew some, looking at Kalek. And the winged one, you seem to have some affinity. But this temple, it was a temple to the old gods. Not all that different from the place that we just passed through.
I didn't know the persecution of the worshippers went to such lengths.
It has.
Is it not the aim of people here just enlightenment? Is it really done with such force?
You're talking about Solaris.
Solaris, but also Calder?
Well, it would depend on who you come across.
Aye. And I must know your robes, Seeker. Saw a man on the gallows, Solaris, wearing similar colour. I don't suppose there's a connection.
Do not know who you speak of, but it's possible.
He had a label on him, on his corpse. Spy.
I am no spy.
It's not an accusation. We have no allegiance to either. Well, I have no allegiance to either nation.
Good,
But,
then we will get along fine, for I have no allegiance to the nations, or any of the gods. Well, mostly none of the gods.
I don't have an allegiance either. I don't know where I'm from, so I can't really pick a side.
I like you.
Thank you.
Anyway, this temple has special water you need for these necklaces? Because it's holy water, perhaps.
You see that mountain range? He points off to the distance.
I follow his hand. Yes.
Just south of us here, that mountain range has this temple. In the temple, there is, or at least there was, a spring and a fountain infused with light from, let's just say, an old god. It will help with these necklaces. Now, some say that this place is cursed, if you believe in such things. But that is where we must go if you want these necklaces.
I take a deep breath. I can imagine why such a place might be cursed.
Do you think there's anyone who still works there, maybe? I only think because our friend here, has these weird things on him, and maybe a priest or something could help?
It is abandoned long ago.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
They don't hurt, Oma. It's fine. We'll figure it out.
When you say these things, are you talking about the horns?
What? No, I don't have horns.
Okay.
When he turns to me, I'll turn to him, and when I say that, is his sleeve still up? Do I get a better look at the tattoo now that we're in the daylight?
It's still up. Yeah.
What do I glean from it, if anything?
So, if his arms down, so you see a semicircle, and then a few inches from it, you see just a straight line under it, and it's a pretty thick, emboldened black lines.
I'm not going to ask him about it, but I don't know, in my limited knowledge, would I've ever seen this iconography or symbol anywhere?
Seeker, are you showing it to the group? Or
not actively showing it, it's just his sleeve is up and his arm is down, so they
I was just taking a glance at it. Yeah.
So
I would definitely recognize that symbol.
Okay, so Flynn
Sure.
and Kalek, I'm going to have you both make religion
I'm probably not
checks.
going to, but figured it. Something piques his interest, seeing tattoos on the same spot. Religion. Natural 20 for 22.
It's a 21 for Kelly.
Yes, you both would immediately recognize this as the Sigil of Laurus, a semicircle, and a couple inches down, completely disconnected, a straight, bold line across.
What do I know of this Laurus?
Laurus is an old god.
Okay. Okay.
You would know that. An old god. Well, you got a really high roll. So an old god of magic.
Oh, okay.
You know, Laurus created sort of the lands of Ganboldir, and that's where a lot of the magic in this world sort of springs from. Lots of like natural born sorcerers there, lots of clerics, paladins, wizardry there. So yeah, old god of magic.
Cool. I'm not going to notice anything when I look down at it, but I'll just block it. And then... Alright, well... I'm ready when y'all are.
Aye. Let's get a move on.
And as soon as he says that, dire wolf version of Shreya just like perks up and just...
Schreier wolf?
Starts bolting out down the path.
Alma is on his back.
With Alma on him.
Alma's on your back, yeah. How long does that...
Oh, it lasts, so it's basically half my level, so it's active for about 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours?
Yeah.
Crap. Okay.
I'm
okay.
like, and I'm like, while I'm doing something, Shreya, is this gonna happen forever? Are you humble forever?
And I'm only pausing every now and then to just like smell things, like just stop and like just with enough time so that I can like keep my places in the front of the group.
Okay. Shreya, as you are bolting down this path, everyone else is like left in your dust. You guys look out onto the horizon, and this journey down to the mountain, you can just see it on the horizon. You look and you can see just the start of the Bartok Rise, a mountain range that spans about half of Kaldur heading south. So as you guys are heading down that way, you guys are on the path. You guys start to see a couple farms on either side of you, just on the outskirts of Solaris. And as you guys pass one, you can hear the sounds of animals off to one, and then you look off to your other side and you hear the slow roll of wheat as the breeze passes through it. And soon enough, you guys are in sort of like this big farm area.
As we're walking, you said Schreierwolf ran ahead with Alma, so they're kind of out far. As we're kind of walking, Flynn will kind of take this moment to go up to Kellic. I don't really know how to start this, but I'm kind of worried about Alma.
Yeah, I think that's an understatement, then.
Are we a bad influence on her? Is this our fault?
You're referring to what happened the other night?
Well, yeah.
And I'll take a look to see if Seeker is eavesdropping. And seeing that he's otherwise
minding his own business,
engaged, I will drop my voice. Then were you alive when the usurpation happened? How old are you, Flynn?
22.
Right. Well, you know the story. 30 years ago, the new gods dethroned the old gods.
Yeah.
It's been muddied a bit since then, but everyone's aware that happened. Well, around that time, I became a Kaji, the first rung on the ladder of the Legion Aurora, a devotee of Famir.
Okay.
And when the world's going a certain way for hundreds of years, and suddenly that changes, and when power shifts, a certain source of power is respected, and then suddenly that power disappears.
Mm-hmm.
Well, people panic, right?
Yeah.
So I came in to be an Akaji, and my first duty was to judge who was worthy of receiving services, healing, treatment, community organization, money, space, time, these things from the church. You have to understand the temple was everywhere. Famir presided over all things, so governments, businesses, these things revolved around the use of the temple and its resources. So, let's say you're a young father, right, and you've brought your sick daughter to my door. Well, I'd ask you a question. Simple question. To prove that you were a believer, that you were devout. Something like, what did Famir say to Fenra when asked what was just? And I'll take a beat and look at Flint's face.
I'll shake my head.
You don't know?
No.
Well, aren't you a follower of the old gods? Won't you fight in their wars? Nobody knew the answers to these questions, Flynn. They were buried in scriptures. They were a game. We stand in the light and suffer what we must. So you turn these people away from your doors. Tell them to ask the new gods for help. I must have done this countless times. Thinking I was teaching them hardship so that they could return to the light, return to the right way of thinking, the good side. I say this to illustrate a point, right? We all make mistakes, Flynn. And when you have power, the costs of those mistakes are grave. Almost a 12-year-old girl who could fell a dragon. The cost of her mistakes. I just look off into the sky.
When he takes a beat. Yeah, but should she be felling a dragon? She's a kid.
Can you imagine if we tried to leave her somewhere for them?
I know.
Can you think of how fast she'd be out the door of whichever well-intended individual we tried to saddle her with, and then she'd be on her own?
Well, maybe...
Which I think she was on her own for some time, and then she found, I don't know, this wizard fella, and then she found March, which was fortunate, and the Hologard, which was unfortunate. So we have to decide which one we're going to be. Was it lucky for her to encounter us?
I think you're right. I don't think letting her go is the right choice, because who knows what'll happen. But I think that we also need to be more aware that our actions affect how she grows up.
Aye. She's at a pivotal time in her life.
Clearly. And I think we should be better at it. She deserves that.
I agree.
She should be like this all the time. I'll look up to her riding on the wolf. That's how she should be. Not what would happen yesterday.
That's my greatest wish, Flynn. Promised I'd keep her safe. I keep my promises.
I'll keep mine. Keep walking.
A stoic nod and move forward.
Okay. After walking for another couple minutes, you come across another farmhouse. This one has a stable on the outside. It's got a couple horses there, as well as a cart. I'll give you guys the option to move on at your current pace, or choose to take some of these horses.
Does it seem with Seeker's point, it seems like we have a ways to go? I can't remember.
You guys have a ways to go.
Okay, then yeah, I would probably point to the group. And do you guys want to... I point to the carts.
I suggest we take these horses.
Is there a
Yeah.
person here we can buy them from? Not in the interest of robbing a farm of its livestock.
One moment. And you hear that, and not long till Eldra appears and swoops down to Seeker, and he whispers something to her and hands her a bag. I know some of these people. I will send payment with Eldra and send her off. Also, girl, please keep an eye. Watch the path ahead, please.
Okay.
Okay, and with that instruction, Eldra takes the coin and flies off in like just a beeline to this farmhouse that's just off in the distance. As you guys all take some horses. Now, there's enough horses here. Each one of you could have your own individual horse, or you could take the cart. There's pretty much options for you guys. So what would you guys like to take?
The mountain range that we're trying to go to, do we know the geography of that? Like, would it be beneficial for us to have a cart or not have a cart?
Yeah, to tank a cart would be ill-advised.
We don't need it, do we?
But nothing to store.
Yeah, we have nothing really to carry.
It would be easier probably on horseback.
Yeah, we don't want to get the cart stuck or anything.
Okay. How many horses? Are any of you guys sharing
I want to
horses?
share a horse with somebody. I've never ridden a horse before.
Well, I'll turn to Firewolf. Oh, every time. Look at him like, well, we don't need one for him anymore, right? Look at him confused.
I don't know how long he can stay like this. Is it forever or not? I don't really know. So
should we take one just in case?
Well, he can fly.
Oh, right. And I guess I could. Let's just do 5, 4. 4
horses with
and
Alma riding.
We can double up on one. Yeah,
makes sense.
Let's do that.
Okay. So you guys grab 4 horses. You guys each hop onto one, and you guys continue going. Olma, who are you going with?
I'm still on Shreya.
Oh, you're still on Shreya. Okay. All right. So.
As long as he's good with me on him, I weigh like 80 pounds. So he's a dire wolf. I don't know.
Oh, definitely.
Okay.
All good.
All right. So you guys continue along this path, and it's pretty much a straight shot to the base of the Bartok Mountains. You guys pass, again, corn and wheat fields on either side of you, and at some points you can't even see off into the distance as the crops are just too high. And you guys continue along this path, and an hour passes. 2 hours pass. You guys have a while until you get to this mountain.
Shreya is no longer a wolf.
Yeah.
As that second.
About an hour into the journey, you zap back into your bird form.
Would she be on my shoulders at that point, or like?
If I can, if I can hang on while he changes. I mean, I don't know if you want me to do a check to see if I hang or fall.
Oma, you as he just very suddenly shrinks back into his bird form, you find your arms wrapped around his neck and sort of your legs sort of right around where his hips are.
Hey, you're a bird again.
I can speak again. I was rather enjoying that.
Could you understand us when you were like that?
Yeah, I found myself able to comprehend, yet not be able to communicate back to you, and how I can now.
Crazy.
I rotate my body to look at his face. That was fun. You're a fun wolf. And I pet the next to his beak where he originally had where I'd pet his muzzle, and I just put my hand there. Thank you.
Does he still have his ears?
No, not at this point.
The furry ears are gone that were there this morning?
Yes.
Your ears are gone.
It's never happened to me before. It's something I don't quite understand, but I noticed when I was down in the underground, I did not have any of the fear I usually have in tight spaces, and I quite enjoyed my newfound perception.
A broad smile goes across my face, and I say, "So Flynn, all we got to do is turn you into a wolf, and then turn you back, and the horns will be gone."
You see him absentmindedly tightening his headdress, noticing that Shreya does no longer has to wear one. Yeah. If only we knew how.
I'll hop down from Shreya's back. Can I ride with somebody?
Come here, girl.
Walk up to him. Reach up for a hand.
I will lean over and hoist Oma up onto the saddle.
I'll look over to Shreya. You wanna?
I would much rather fly ahead and act as a sort of alarm if anything is happening. And I do very much want to speak to the nice-looking owl who might also be out front.
Well, no problem with me. More horse for me. And I'll kick up on one of the other horse, and I'll just kind of lay down on it and try and nap on it while it rides. It's chilling.
Okay.
How long have you had your owl, Eldra?
For a long time.
She's very pretty.
Thank you. She's very special to me.
When I saw her last night, I thought maybe my friend sent her. But I guess no.
Okay. As you guys continue on down the path, you guys have a couple hours until you get to the base of the mountain. Is there anything you guys want to do during that time?
Yeah, I just lean onto. I don't know if I'm in front of or behind Kellic, but whichever one I am.
I was imagining in front.
Great. I lean back and I take a nap.
Yeah, I'll just shoulder her and keep hold of the reins.
Seeker's out in front, or out in front maybe with somebody, but it would just kind of loudly say, "Okay, what are your names? I know Flynn Fellowweave of the group, and maybe I picked up another or two, but what are your names?"
I'm Kellic Grey. That's Shreya over there. The Birdman.
The bird wolf.
Right.
It is a new one for me.
And this is little Oma.
Hello, Oma.
She'll say hi when she wakes up. Is your name Seeker?
My name is Gideon, but I go by Seeker.
Then we'll call you as you like.
You, Kellic. This reverence down below, and these magics, they are somewhat familiar to me. How do you know them?
Well, I'll awkwardly produce the cloth wrap from my bag and unwrap it to reveal a 3-ringed sigil that is warped and burnt. I been around the block a few times, if you will. And yourself, your tattoo, Laurus.
Yes.
How's that treating you?
What do you mean?
Well, it's a complicated conversation to have.
It is a complicated conversation. But I can tell you, have you ever had a relationship and found something that you did not like. But the relationship has left its mark on you. One that you cannot shake. You're not even sure if you want to shake it.
Aye.
But there's also been great harm done to others in evil. It is, as you say, complicated. I serve none.
But he gives you his power freely still.
What is free? But let's just say I'm no longer part of the Brotherhood, actively.
Aye. We all bear these scars. You've just inked yours.
They serve a purpose, no?
Yes, a purpose I ponder every waking moment. Does it not trouble you? Staying here, in this land, while still pulling from the well of Laurus?
I don't find trouble in any land. I move as I please. Maybe I don't always show this. And he kind of rolls his sleeve down. But I use what I need to survive.
Pocket my sigil. I think I might have an idea why you call yourself Seeker. And I sort of just give a nod of trust, approval.
I'm going to lurch up toward the owl and concentrate as I catch up with the owl, and my eyes sort of roll back in my head, open again toward the owl, and I say to the owl,
What is your name?
Rodney, I don't want to put you on the spot, but would you like to inhabit your owl?
Do
Sure.
it.
Yeah,
If you want.
why not? And as my owl, I hear this. I understand it. I would presume.
Yes. So you can speak as the owl. Yeah.
Hi. My name's Eldra.
Eltra. Wondrous name indeed.
What? Who are you?
They call me Shreya, and I have a very nice affinity toward. I've always been very charmed by owls such as yourself.
Oh, you're big.
Yes, don't let my size be intimidating. I've been also told I have a soft heart.
Oh. Ooh. Well. That's nice. It's nice having someone to fly with. It's normally just me up here.
Yes, I quite agree. It is nice. Nice companionship. I have a question for you. At night, I thought I heard a being, like an owl, and it awoke something within me that very much seems to have altered how I comprehend the world. Tell me, the question. What do you know of the moon? What do you know of how light transforms and how beings of the night emerge? Do you have any familiarity with beasts of many different kinds?
Oh, I can't say I do. I mean, I've seen lots of beasts, and sometimes Seeker will, change kind of like how he looks, but I don't know if the moon's involved. I mean, the moon's it's the big thing in the sky, yeah?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. I don't know.
You'd say, your primary companion has the ability to transform as well?
Well, don't know if he... I mean, he can change how he looks sometimes. I've never seen him... You were the big furry thing earlier?
Yes,
The other big furry thing.
Yes, I found myself quite, Is that what... I looked very furry, eh?
Yeah, like a big dog. Real big dog. I don't usually hang out for those.
And I have my eyes go very wide, and I whisper,
Shant,
Goshto, under my breath, and I say, that's it.
Thank you. You don't mind if I continue to fly with you and continue to lead the way, do you?
No, not at all. We can compare what we see and keep them safe.
I would very much like that.
He's pretty lost without me.
Well, I don't think, I sometimes give direction to fine folks in my group as well. I sometimes even carry one of them, which is kind of fun.
I can't do that. I'm too small.
Well, you're very small and very, pleasing to the eye, in your own right.
At this, Eldra just kind of bristles and kind of fluffs her feathers a little. Ooh. You yourself. You too?
Yeah, thank you. Well, that feels good to hear as well.
I am obsessed with this.
Oh, this is great.
Try's got
Oh my gosh.
All right, and as they continue sort of flying next to each other up in the air, they're a little ways away, but everyone else who's down on the ground just sort of very softly hears some tweets and hoots going back and forth between the two.
I had something real quick. Just while we were on the horses, and I'm kind of like kicks back lane. Over the course of that, I'd pull out one of my books that has the eye on it. I'll open it up, the bestiary, and I'll start writing down what I saw in the tunnel and document it. And if I could, I'd like to spend that hour or so adding that beast to my bestiary.
Yeah,
and
for sure.
what was it called?
That was a Carrion Crawler.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'll write down like the poison stuff, like what it looked like, the colors, what kind of damage like I used to slay them and stuff. And yeah, I'll spend some time writing that down in my book. Just kind of do that.
Awesome. Normally it would take you about an hour to do this, but because you are on horseback, it's taking you a little bit longer. There are some bumps every once in a while, and but you're able to get all the information down. Cool. You're able to get all of the information down just in time to see the path before you split. One path continues south along the base of the mountain, sort of heading in a southward direction, and then the other one goes directly up into the mountain and sort of begins an ascension up into the mountain. Seeker, you know this to be going up into the mountain, the direction that you need to go.
This way, up into the mountain.
What's all you?
Can I look down both paths and see, like, if I recognize any of them? Like, can I look down this?
Yeah, make a perception check.
Just to see what, like, maybe is down the other one. Natural 1, reroll. 10.
10. You look down the path that goes south. Sort of, you can see it sort of trails along the base of the mountain, but you can't really see any particular identifying landmarks. It just seems like it continues on south. You look up the one that heads up into the mountain, and it definitely looks like a little bit more of like a slightly more treacherous terrain, but it's not like insane. The horses will definitely be able to get up into it. But pretty soon up into the mountain, you can see trees and sort of a mountainside forest begin to appear.
Guys, can we go down this one and check it out? I know you said, and I'll look to Seeker. I know you said that that's the way, but like, I'm just curious. I want to see what's down here.
Are you asking me?
Well, yeah. I mean, it just seems cool. I mean, I figured if it's not too much trouble, let's go do a little bit of exploring.
Then we're being pursued by an evil organization of thieves and assassins.
They're gone.
We're seeking a way to avoid capture from them.
We're in the middle of nowhere.
What if maybe you first gathered what is needed to make these necklaces protect you? Gave me something of equal or equitable trade. And then you come, have fun, do what you want.
This path will still be here.
I don't know. And I'll start heading down that path. Like, it's just right down here. It's like right here. And I'll just start going down, take my horse, go down that way. And I'll just keep going. Guys, just come on. It'll be like, it's just right here. Let's check it out. And I'll just start galloping down that way.
At that moment, Seeker would do he would just kind of mutter under his breath, tell me what is down this way, and send a message to Eldra to see if she sees anything.
Okay, I'm gonna have you make a perception check for Eldra.
Could I give Eldra advantage?
Ooh!
Yeah, you can.
Let's go.
Clean.
She's feeling free.
She's feeling herself.
I know about this, yeah.
So that first one was an 11, and the second was a 10. So I don't know if she has any added to her perception.
I think owls get something good. I think
stupid
perception.
Owls get something.
Yeah, they're pretty good.
Let's see. Oh yeah, they get wisdom. So it'd be a 12 total.
12.
Oh,
okay.
I'm sorry. No,
No,
that's not true. It's 14.
Yeah.
It's plus 3.
14. Nice. Eldra gets a pretty good look because it's like you got a mountain on one side and then you got sort of these rolling hills to the other side, and she sees pretty much nothing going down this path. No houses, no nothing. It's just the path just continues on for miles and miles as far as you can see.
I'm just going down. It's like I'm starting to gallop down. Like, guys, come on!
Seeker will look over to Kalik and say, I do not think anything is down there, but it is a waste of time.
I just have an expression of just like incredulity. I thought we just had a discussion about this. And I'll Seeker, we've got to get these necklaces sorted. Perhaps Shreya can look after Flynn, and you and me and Alma can head up and get this water taken care of.
Okay. And we'll send a message to Shreya and say, can you look after the little one? We're going to head up to the temple.
Oh, well, I suppose if we must part company temporarily, I suppose, yes, the small one seems to be going off on his own. I didn't want anything to happen to him. I will see you again, I'm sure.
And as I grunt and unwillingly veer off towards Flynn, and I say under my breath,
"There better be a very good reason you're splitting off."
In that, you actually turn to go down that path, and I'm like galloping back up. Guys, what are you doing? Let's go! Come on! It's gonna be cool.
Flynn, you're being a fool.
I went down there. There's like a pond.
We don't have
like
time for this, Flynn.
It'll take 5 seconds. Come on.
To what? To water?
To check out the cool area.
To regular water that doesn't give us enchanted necklaces.
Nowhere. No one's following us.
In the nation that you refer to as an enemy, Flynn. That's where we are.
Yeah, well, maybe this has some answers. I just have a good feeling about it. Don't you ever just go off a gut feeling?
DM, I'm looking at his face. Is he drunk? Like, can I? What I want to assess what's going on.
Yeah, you can make an insight check. Yeah.
Flynn,
are you drunk?
I've been drinking. I'm just excited to go down here.
Does
I
he
want to check it out.
Sane or charmed, or like, can I read that from anything? Like,
I wouldn't be like no insanity. No.
Guys, just quick, just for me, just like a little break from all this craziness. Let's just go check this area out. It'll be fine.
Fine.
And then we can go right to the water and take care of it. And I won't ask to do any more diversions. I just want to do this one.
You better be. If anything happens here, Flynn, it's your head, right? Horns and all.
Of course.
What would I know of the fauna of the mountains? DM.
Make a nature check for me.
That is that is gonna be a 13.
Up here, you're not too familiar with like anything abnormal beyond the basics. Up in mountains, lots of birds up here, like a bunch of different varieties of birds. There are deer, there are wolves up here. You know that there are, like, every once in a while you'll come across like an area with a cave bear. But you have heard like rumors of the fauna being a little bit stranger and a little bit more unique the closer you get to the temple itself.
Okay, I will wait here. I would recommend keeping your eyes open. You did see what attacked us recently,
right?
No?
Thanks for your patience. I apologize for the interruption. And
We good? Can we go?
pull my horse over and start heading in that direction.
I'll start leading the way back down the southern path.
Okay. Is Kalik the only one going?
Well, almost on my horse.
Or almost on your horse? Shreya, I should ask Shreya, are you going?
Oh yeah, no, I've already split off, and as soon as that message was given to me, I went and found Lynn. But my question is, am I rejoined in the air, or am I still solo flying above?
Yeah, you're joined, and Seeker would have sent a message to Eldra to let him know if anything goes wrong.
Well, I suppose.
Okay.
Seeing you again sooner than I thought.
Hi.
Okay, so you guys continue on this path southward. I'm going to have everyone who's there can make a perception check.
I'm asleep.
What was I cocked? Let's see.
Guess that would include Eldra.
Crappy crap.
Ooh. That's a 21.
My stats are so bazingas. Yeah, that's a 21 for me as well.
10 for Flynn.
24.
24, nice. Yeah, so you guys all continue heading south on this path for a couple minutes. Not really a pond in sight. You guys don't really see anything beyond these rolling hills in the mountain off to your right.
Does it start to curve or anything up ahead to see, like, what's past that?
Yeah, so the path sort of, some of the mountain sort of comes down and juts out right in front of you, and the path curves around that. So in maybe about 100 feet in front of you, the path turns around that curve, and you can't see the path continuing.
I'm looking around like, well, let's go check out, and let's go check out around the corner.
Then
see if
why
there's anything
are we
cool up there.
wandering the hills of Caldor at a time like this?
When are we ever going to be back here? You know?
We're stuck here. We have to
we're not
hide
stuck.
from all kinds of evil forces pursuing us.
We'll be fine. And I just go towards around the corner.
It's not the time for idle whimsy. And I continue following.
Okay. You guys make that turn around the corner, and sort of the curve of the mountain then continues to extend on for miles down south, with the path leading right next to it.
Keep on heading down.
This better have a point, Flynn!
You guys keep heading south for another couple minutes. Path just continues on.
Look at all the cool trees. Like, this is exciting. Like, what could be down here? Anything could be down
Certain doom, Flynn.
here. That's even better. I have some cool thing on me that Seeker gave me, so I'm kind of looking for danger.
Flynn, we just talked about this. What kind of example are we setting by running off chasing danger when we could be looking for a solution to our problems that involves no violence?
Maybe you're right. I'm gonna look down the path one more time. Is there anything that looks exciting that pulls me down it and wants me to go check it out more? Am I...
I mean, you see some trees. You see, like, some birds up in the trees.
You know, I thought there was gonna be something down here, but maybe you're right. Maybe there isn't.
What are you after?
I don't know. I guess we can go back. I just felt like this would be a good place to check out, but it doesn't seem that way anymore.
Are you feeling alright, lad?
Yeah, fine. I was kind of bummed. I thought this would be like a cool side adventure, but I guess I look around like, guess not.
I just, like, stare at him like I'm inspecting the fine print of a legal document.
Well, thanks for coming with me. I mean, I appreciate it. But see, we're fine. It was just a little detour.
And what if we weren't?
We'd handle it.
It's not good enough, then. You've seen how we handle things that we're not ready for.
Yeah.
Now, believe it or not, I'm fond of your adventurous spirit. But the risk is so great right now.
Yeah. Well, and I'll turn my horse around. Kind of start heading back.
And visible to no one except for Eldra, which I don't know if Seeker can actually see through that as well. A glow that had started in the back of my staff up toward the crystal now just goes dim.
Okay, so after that, let's call it a detour.
The jaunt.
You guys all head back, and you guys meet up with Seeker once again at the base of the mountain. Seeker, you see the party once again coming back around the bend.
So as Seeker sees them coming around, they probably would have got tipped off that they're coming back, but he's rolling up some scrolls, and he's got a pack underneath his cape, and he's putting them away and putting the pack back on and mounting. Are you ready? Staring at Flynn.
Always. Let's do it.
Very effective in battle, but not the wisest, eh?
I'm working on it.
We should go. What time of day is it at this point?
You guys are just approaching about 2-3 in the afternoon.
We should get as far as we can while we still have daylight.
Great.
Does anybody need a rest? Well, never mind. We just took a rest. Well, I did.
I sort of just like indicate Oma is still napping.
And the little one. She's smart. She is wise. Maybe you should follow her, little one.
I mean, I had fun. There wasn't anything down there, but it was exciting. But yeah. Let's go.
All right. So you guys, still on horseback, you guys begin to trot up the side of the mountain. Before long, you guys are completely like surrounded on all sides by these evergreen trees. And as you guys climb up higher and higher into the mountain, it takes a little while, but you guys you feel in your lungs the air starting to get thinner and thinner as you guys climb and climb and climb in altitude. Shreya, are you flying above the group?
Yes.
Okay. Because the trees are so dense, and actually, Seeker, how often do you look through Eldra's view? I should ask that. Like, as you're traveling along, how long would you just, like, pop into Eldra view to check in on what's going on?
Probably every 15, 20 minutes.
Okay, perfect. So then, yeah, I'm going to have Shreya and Seeker through Eldra both make a perception check for me.
What kind
and everyone else, you guys are looking around.
Is this using their sight?
This is a sight-based perception check.
Gotcha.
Everyone else, you guys are just surrounded by this dense forest, and you guys are barely able to see on either side.
Yay. 21.
8.
21.
You guys are able to look on either side, and you guys are able to get sort of a better view of the trees surrounding the rest of your party. Shreya, you are like sort of feeling a little bit more comfortable here. You sort of feel the altitude once again. You feel the evergreen trees. You can see some of the life. You can see some squirrels hopping from one tree to the next. And you can see just like a myriad of life happening in this forest. And in your comfort, you sort of lose your perception a little bit and aren't looking around as much. Eldra, however, spots just a couple 100 feet off of the path a tree that is quite a bit bigger than all of the other trees, and it doesn't look to be the same kind of tree. It looks more like it's not like got it's not like a pine tree where it's got those needles on it. It's like a full flourishing tree with leaves, lots of branches extending out, and the trunk of it looks a lot thicker as well. You can pretty much just see some of the major branches coming up over the tops of these other evergreens and the flourish of leaves that are actually a much brighter green than everything else around it.
Does that? Hey, woo. You, hey, handsome. Does that tree look normal to you? Over there. It looks.
Of course, I think I can see it, but just in case I can't, just what does it look like?
It's well, silly. It's bigger, and it doesn't match the pattern. It's different.
Can I re-look toward? Can I look for that after that description?
Yeah, after the description and sort of after you sort of snap back into your normal view, after pointing it out, yeah, you see it.
Oh, yeah, that one. I saw it several minutes ago. What about it?
Isn't it odd? Don't trees and forests normally have similar trees? And that one's all by itself.
It is quite strange. Odd looking. My experience in the woods and the forests and the mountains especially. Odd looking elements of the land are not always things to be afraid of.
Well, I mean, I'm not scared, but it just seems strange.
Should we take a closer look?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. As you guys both fly over there, you guys would see as you approach the tree that this is very obviously not a tree of this area. This was brought in from something else, but over the years it has grown to be this huge, flourishing tree. As you guys approach it, you guys can see the trunk of this tree is probably about, I'd say, 20 feet wide as it sort of comes up and then branches off at the top. From the base of the tree, you can see a doorway at sort of the base of this massive trunk, surrounded by the roots that are sort of coming down off of this base.
Oh, I wonder if that's how you get in.
I think, in any case, we should tell the others about it.
Hold on. And, Eldra would communicate with Seeker, or Seeker would probably have popped in around here and seen, and sent a message saying, hold there. I think that's where we want to go, but I'm not sure. Would Seeker have any kind of, would he know what he's looking for an entrance?
No, not necessarily. If you're looking specifically for the entrance, I would have you make a either nature or survival check. I'll give you advantage because Eldra pointed you to where the tree was.
Ooh, that's good because the first one was a natty 1. We don't like that.
No, thank you.
But it didn't get much better with the 7.
Oh,
That's with
7?
survival.
Oh,
Shit.
yeah. I mean, you see the tree, but Eldra sort of sees it a little bit better where the door is actually sort of like inlaid into the tree, and it's not like it's not like wooden slats put up against a tree trunk. It's more sort of into the design of the tree.
I don't know what I'm seeing. The big tree. Maybe we go check it out. I don't know. I don't know exactly what we're looking for.
But you've had word of this temple, the existence of it.
Yes.
DM, would I know of a temple of Famir that was built into a tree? That's something I...
Make a religion check.
Uh, 17.
17? No. This is much more in line with Ilduria, if anything.
Yeah.
If anything, it's in line with Ilduria.
Are you certain we're looking for Temple to Famir?
I did not say Famir, but he would have been worshipped there, yes.
Oh, so just a temple to the old gods?
Yes.
Is the area we're in, it's... How wild is it? For lack of a better phrasing of that question. Is it unkempt wilderness?
Yes, yeah. Unkempt, unexplored beyond... Looks like unexplored beyond the withering path beneath your feet.
Taking in all the foliage. Well, perhaps this is where Eldoria would host such a thing.
It would fit. It would fit with...
I don't know if he mentioned, but Shreya's quite the fan. So, just something for you to be aware of.
I noticed back in the cave. In the mines.
Right. Let's get to the bottom of it. And I'll, with renewed vigor, move my horse into a steady trot.
As we're kind of twisting to go more towards the temple, Alma starts to kind of like jerk and shake in Kellick's arms. And her head is moving back and forth. And she starts breathing really, really heavy. And it's almost like her breathing starts to sound like she's crying.
I'll slow the horse's pace.
And she jerks awake. looks around.
Hey, you're alright. You're alright, girl.
Kellic?
You're here with me. We're fine. We're just heading up the mountain.
I think I had a nightmare.
Yeah, you seem shook.
Kellic, I dreamt about that room with the ring around the ground, and I saw the dwarf's face, and then his face was crumpled.
Oh, child.
Kellic.
I just embrace her as clumsily as it would be on the horse.
Kellic, what happens now?
We move on, Alma.
But you're not gonna, banish me or kick me out?
Alma, didn't you hear? Didn't you listen to me? We just have to press on. Do good where we can.
But I get to stay?
I'll not abandon you, girl. Never.
I don't know what to do now.
Well, you know what you did, yes?
Mm-hmm.
And you know why it was wrong?
Kinda.
Well,
I was just so mad.
yes. But your rage, Alma, it can't be put to that use. We must be better than the things we're up against. Or what's the point? Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
We don't know what kind of man he was, the dwarf you killed. We know a snippet, a tiny moment of his life, but we have no other idea of him besides that he was a guard doing his duty. We must be intentional about how we use our might.
Mm-hmm. I just can't always fix it. I can't always control it.
I know. It's not about fixing, right? Some things can't be undone. But finding the path when you come off it. Getting back on that horse. We have a mission.
Mm-hmm.
The Red Wolf, right? Most certainly.
Right.
Trying to end the world. Or something. Or
Right.
whatever it is we know of it.
Right, the Red Wolf. Mm-hmm.
So whatever you've done, girl, you stop that. Then your life, your power, it matters. I'm not saying there's a ledger. I'm not saying it's mathematics. But you have no choice but to try. And do good.
Do you think if I do enough good, it'll overwhelm all the bad?
It's not for me to say, Alma.
Well, who gets to say?
I take a long look at her. You have to decide for yourself.
Aw, but that's what Daddy has said, and I don't know what to say. Why does it have to be up to me?
Well, you could ask the gods. And I pull out the burned trying sigil, and I unravel the bandage around my hand. Well, I sort of pass Alma the reins as I'm doing this, and I unravel the bandage around my hand. And I show her that on the center of my palm, there is a deep scar of 3 rings. And I put the symbol into the scar to show that it lines up exactly. But I don't have the answers either.
Can Seeker hear this conversation, or is this a private conversation?
I woke up from a nightmare, so I'm not trying to be
There was a
private.
kerfuffle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can, you could have, unless, Kalik, you are specifically trying to hide this from Seeker, I'm going to say that Seeker would
I wouldn't
be
be
able to hear
like
this.
broadcasting. I'd be speaking in hushed tones, but there's no hiding this kind of animated moment.
Yeah.
He'd probably ride up as the kerfuffle happened, as she's waking and just listening. And at that moment, after you say that, he would say, scars. Yeah. And look at Alma and say, yes, you could ask the gods, but the way is right in front of you. Right and wrong are in front of you. What you are and who you are in front of you, not behind. Keep your eyes open. Keep your heart open. You all drew the ire of this hollow god. I don't care why, but your hearts seem pure as they can be. You, especially, little one. Don't fret. And he'll just kind of ride off. Or just kind of start to spur his horse to keep moving. We should keep moving.
Yes.
All right.
So just keep going?
In front of you. Not behind.
Eyes forward, girl.
Eyes forward. Go in front. Okay.
And at this moment, you all approach the base of this tree. You guys all look ahead, and Seeker, now at this point, you can see sort of the outline of where a doorway would be. You couldn't really see it from the view before, but now that you're sort of right in front of it, it's much more clear. It is closed, but looking up, you can see 2 little window ports that go inside. No light coming from within, just like little glass panes over these windows.
Would I see any signs of Edoria or anything that I recognize from her iconography?
Make a religion or nature check for me.
Religion. Oh, yeah, that's 15.
15. So you can see sort of growing around the base and up into the trunk. You can see these overgrown vines. And you could tell probably at one point they were sort of like ushered into place, sort of making a design around the tree itself. But now, however many years it's been, that design has sort of been muddled by just the natural growth of these vines. But you can still sort of pick out that, okay, at one point, the growth of these vines was sort of directed.
So Seeker would turn to the group and say, this seems like it may be where we need to go. And turn towards the door and just say, by the gods, magic and light, and make the symbol of Lars in the air, and it almost lighting with his finger as he does it in a purplish haze, and kind of over his shoulder towards Kalik saying, old habits,
Aye.
And shall we proceed?
Yeah, sure. This'll be fun, huh?
Do we leave the horses out here?
Yes.
Real quick, can I get everyone's passive perception?
13.
At the mention of the horses,
18.
I'll help tie them up to a tree or something, like latch them around.
13.
15 for Flynn.
16 for Shry.
Okay. Shreya and Kalik would be the only ones to notice this. As you're hopping off of your horse, and Shreya, you coming down to land on the ground, in the grass right next to you, as this is off of the normal path, this area is just covered in grass and rocks. And off to Kalik's right, you look down to the ground, and you can see sort of a form in the grass there. And you look for a second, and it seems to be just a pile of ash. Shreya, you notice this too.
Is it moving?
It is not. Still a little bit obscured by the grass and the foliage that covers the area.
What happened here?
I'm gonna go toward it.
Okay. You look down onto the ground, and you can see, face down into the dirt, a humanoid figure. Dead long ago, but laying face down. The decay already very much underway of, years and years. But you can see the ribs coming up from the ground, jutting out where there is a hole in their torso that seems to have been just completely obliterated. Now in that hole, a pile of ash lays.
Does the ash seem connected to the body is not burnt, or the body is also burnt?
The hole around where the hole in the torso does seem to be like scorched and scarred. It looked like someone took a very powerful flame and blasted it right through the torso of this person. And what remains there is then ash.
I'll lift some of the ash and run it between my fingers. Does it seem if I were to look in the near vicinity, can I see where this might have originated? This?
Make an investigation check for me.
Natural 1.
Nothing. You can't even tell what direction the blast came from. You can't tell really anything. Where they were standing, they could have been knocked back. You got nothing.
And if I look at the corpse, does it look like a human, or like is it a medium-sized humanoid?
It looks like a humanoid. No, you wouldn't have to. You would know that this is probably an elf, looking at their anatomy.
What kind of magic makes that kind of mark?
Kalik, what do you see there?
It's ugly, Shreya. It's an elf. Long dead.
Elf? And I touch down and collect myself and look down deeply into the corpse and see what I can see.
Okay. I'm going to have you make either a medicine or a nature check.
That is a 15 on the medicine check.
Okay. Looking at this body, obviously dead long ago, but the curious thing that you notice is that while the flesh and the muscle and everything has decayed over time, not that much like you would expect, like some sort of like mushrooms, or you would expect some sort of moss or some sort of growth on this, on the body itself. It looks like the foliage around it has like completely rejected this body and is not growing anything on top of it.
Nature's life cycles seem to be perturbed and almost turn away from this being in disgust.
I wipe my hand across my eyes. Cedo oculos. Eyes of the grave. Is there undeath around this corpse?
Yes, there is.
That's not good. There's some foul magic at work here. Seeker, it would seem the rumors of a curse may have some merit.
Great.
And I will rub salt over the body and cast Gentle Repose. Quietus. And attempt to release this spirit.
Okay. As you do that, what does that look like?
Actually,
your spell?
I will use Toll the Dead because I want to disintegrate it. I don't want to preserve it.
Okay.
So it will take the places where it was burnt and grow them, so that every bit of its material composition burns into ash and goes from orange to flickering, fluttering specks of what eventually become blue dust before they vanish into the ether.
Okay. And as this is happening, just very quietly you hear and then stillness and quiet.
Please, take the soul into your embrace and let it be put to rest. Prepare yourselves. We've, nightmares ahead as well.
There will probably be more. There was a slaughter. Many were killed here. Those that worship the old gods. Slaughtered by those who worship the new. I do not know who is worse, the gods or those who do this in their name. Supposedly, those slaughtered haunt this place.
Well, people will do all sorts of things if they need answers from those that would give them. So, let's not pass judgment till we know the ins and outs of the thing. You want to lead the way, Seeker? Don't mean to put you in harm's way, but this is your mission.
Yeah, Seeker will go over to the, he'll nod, head over to the door and see if he can find a way to, he will check the door to see if it seems safe for entry.
Okay, nice. Make an investigation check for me.
9. Wait. Do I get...
You're looking if it's like booby-trapped or anything,
Yeah,
right?
So I get a double proficiency on... No, I'm not using my tools. So, 9.
Okay. Doesn't seem to be trapped in any way.
Will, are you all ready? I suggest preparing whatever it is you need to prepare. And at that, he will pull out his... almost apparate out of nowhere, but reaching his hands very quickly into the sides of his packs and pulling out 2 daggers.
Flynn will, I'll summon my sword. So you see the green misty smoke apparate into my sword in my hand.
Seeker will notice that and get a curl of a grin and just kind of say, "That is impressive. We want to talk to you about that."
Can't wait.
And as they do that, Tribe
Pulls out his staff and touches the crystal to his head, and it glows in this pink, static electricity glow. Come what may.
Alma will stand between Flynn and Kellic. She feels like that's the safest place to be. It's just right in between them. And pull out a torch and light it up. And then double up the light.
Okay.
Before we go, Seeker would on me and have Eldra come to his shoulder, and he would actually look over at Oma and say, "Let's be as quiet as possible. Which of you have problems seeing in the dark?"
All but me.
Oh, well, all right. Then he will say, "Please, so Oma, Flynn, and Shreya, you have problems with the dark?
I have a torch.
Please come to me. I would like to suggest that we put it out. Don't worry, I have something for you." And he asks that you please come here, and he bends down and starts to draw a sigil of Loris into the dirt. It and his arm begin to glow, and he raises his arms out, his palms up near his head, and he says, Hayame, and will share with you three. I get up to 3 willing creatures within 10 feet. Lasting for 1 hour, you now have dark vision out to a range of 300 feet, using Eyes of Night.
Oh. What does it look like when it changes? So I just get to see farther out into the.
Your eye, if anybody's if I was watching or anybody's watching, your eyes would actually flicker with a purple energy, and you may not notice it now since we're outside and it's still daylight, but trust me. You will not need that torch.
I'll put it out.
Okay. So, with now all of you guys having dark vision, who is going to go up and open the door?
I'll do it.
Seeker will go.
Okay. Seeker, you walk up to the door, and just as you approach the door, you can sort of see a handle that's flush with the door, but you can grip because there's sort of been this area carved out into the door. So you sort of reach your hand in there and pull, and the door swings open. And as it swings open, you can actually start to see, the hinges that were laid flush with the door on the other side. And as you open it up, you, once again, for the second time today, get the smell of decay.
My Eyes of the Grave are still active, I believe.
Okay, what's the range on that?
60 feet or something ridiculous. Yeah.
60 feet.
How long? It doesn't really say how long it goes, but I would be reactivating it if it fainted. So yeah, it's 60 feet. That is behind total cover, and that isn't protected from divination magic.
Okay.
So yeah, as he opens this door, I'll do it again, rub the ashes across my eyes. And
can you also, can you pinpoint targets? Is it like you get their exact location?
I think it's... Yeah, you know the location of any undead within 60 feet is the wording.
Okay. Always has the worst spells for you.
Yes.
I'm just here to ruin
This
your
guy.
day, Ethan. That's my
This
soul.
guy.
Kellic, a boulder falls from the sky. Okay, so with Eyes of the Grave, you would detect sort of like higher up into this tree, about 30 feet up, that there are currently 3 undead presences. But they're up further into the top of the tree.
Okay. And is the tree, as I peer in, is it just one open space of gnarled interior?
Yeah. So As you guys peek into the inside of this tree, the inside is completely hollowed out. But the tree itself is still very much alive. Like there's not any dead wood or anything, but the inside is completely hollowed out. With the room is like this 20-foot in diameter circle. As you guys look in, you can see another tree perfectly in the center of this hollowed out tree, much smaller and much younger. But it sort of springs up and you can see like these little tiny points of light where leaves and flowers would be up at the top of the tree. Not enough to illuminate the room at all, but just like these very dim spots of light. You guys look in, and with now your dark vision, you can immediately see three bodies that are in the room. You look across the room, and on the other side, you see one body down on their knees, sort of slumped over, and decay has completely taken them. And the only reason that their form is still like this is the vines that have grown up out of the ground to hold their bones and whatever remaining body was still there. You guys see another one, very similar in its decay, across the room. This one, again, fallen flat on their face. You see another one that is up against the wall, arms spread out, and it looks like there is a spear driven through their chest that is pinning them to the wall, and vines from the wall have come and absorbed them. On the other two bodies, you notice on the first one that's sort of on their knees and slumped over, you can see a couple of arrows in their chests. On the other body that's face down on the floor, you can see a sword that's in their back. But all three of them have vines completely covering them, and their body is being absorbed back into the nature, minus the bones and whatever else remains.
And are those three the ones that I'm getting pings from Rise of the Grave? Okay.
You do not.
But
no.
there are... from what I understand, looking in, I think above us is the concern. So, these ones down here, I don't... you never know with a place like this, but... the danger's above. And I'll start to sidle into the...
Okay. As you actually step in, you can see a little bit more. As you step in, you notice, just because of the angle that you were at, you couldn't see it before, just immediately to your right and down on the floor, you see another figure that is sitting there, head slumped down, back up against the wall, and you can see a very similar scorch along their right shoulder that has completely blasted their shoulder and their arm out of their body, and ash pooling sort of in their chest. This body does not have any vines consuming it. And as you look around the room even more, you can now see up and into this hollowed out tree a spiral staircase that goes up and around the outside of the tree, almost spiraling around this inner tree. And you can see these rooms that have been sectioned off by natural material up further into the tree.
Seeker will walk in and say, if you wouldn't mind a moment, I could check this room to see if I find anything of magical importance. And he will walk towards the center, kind of towards the center of that other tree. And if nobody says anything, he will get down on his knees and start casting a ritual.
Okay, what are you casting?
Detect magic.
Detect magic. Okay, how long does that take for you?
10 minutes as a ritual.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's taking 10 minutes. Is there anything else you guys want to do while he's doing that?
I wanted to ask DM rolling on this. Protection from evil and good consumes the spell components, but they have no price. How do you want to rule on that? Can I use that? Like, is that a thing I need to have purchased?
I'll say that at the current moment, you have all spell components that you need. You just came from a major city. I will say for the next little bit, you have all spell components that you require.
well, then I will take a special flask from my medical bag and turn to Flynn and break the flask on my hands and spread the water across his head and horns and cast protection from good and evil on him.
What was that?
Just a safeguard. Don't want to be in a cursed place with a possessed halfling, you know?
Huh. Oh, okay. Thank you.
Of course. You're the biggest threat anyway, right? So
You know it.
gotta make sure you're on our side. So you've got so I'll do that toward the end of the ritual casting. So you have 5 to 8 minutes of protection from good and evil still.
Okay. All right. Is there anything anyone else wants to do?
So while the ritual is taking place, I say to myself,
Perhaps we could use a sense of direction with this pool we're looking for.
and as I say that, I plant my staff in the ground. I touch the crystal to my head as I mutter,
Kengwaluma.
as my arms stretch out and appear to become mist-like for a second. And I'm going to cast locate animals or plants, in this case plants, but I'm going to specify algae.
Okay. What is the range on that?
That's fun.
That's awesome.
The range on that is 5 miles.
5 miles.
Whoa!
Wow.
Whoa.
Yeah, you're gonna find some algae.
Looks like I'm gonna have to kill a couple of you guys. Okay.
Oh boy.
An avalanche of boulders just
Yeah.
vertically.
It's an algae-less forest.
Okay.
It's a forest of algae. Weird.
Yeah, it's all algae.
The whole tree
Everything.
actually composed of the same chemical components.
You look
made
at
of
Flynn,
algae.
and he is also algae.
As far as the eye.
So,
Oh boy.
yeah, so I would say you pick up a couple of like little pings from possibly where like little small pools of water have collected throughout the forest, but just at the range of your spell, you detect a lot more, and you detect a lot of it just further up the mountain, just about 5 miles.
I do think we're on the right track. If this direction in this cave is any indication.
Do we proceed further here, Shia?
I can only say that we are a decent distance from where I might imagine a large body of water could be. But it seems to be,
And I tilt my staff.
that way.
Is that in and up on the tree? Like, is it in further in where we're going? Are we going in the right direction?
No, it seems to be further up the mountain. Not really within this tree.
So this tree has nothing to do with that body of water.
That's not where the algae is pooling.
Okay.
So perhaps in this space, it might not be a direct route to it. It might be further up in the elevation of this land.
Regardless, and I sort of indicate with my head, I nod toward Seeker working on his ritual. I have an investment in freeing this place of whatever curse is hovering about.
Now, if we can free the energy of Ilduria from the clutches of death, I will see that through as well, for as long as it takes.
Seeker, what'd you find?
So he's like wrapping up the ritual. His eyes are pretty much purple. The his sleeve's down, but you can see a faint glow through the sleeve, and he's just like, Alame Tula Usa Tina. And I don't know, what do I see?
So you detect a couple things. You detect just across the room, there is a little table set up. And on that table, you can see a teapot sitting there. The teapot has like growth coming out from within it. There's probably some really old tea in there that these mushrooms have sprouted up out of. And the teapot itself is giving off a gentle magical glow. You also sense a couple magical essences further up in the tree.
This is, 30-foot sphere? Okay. Well, that pot over there, it seems magical. And there happen to be a few more signatures in this tree. Temple. We should search. And he'll walk over to the teapot and grab it.
Yeah, at the mention of like an interesting magical item, Flynn will go with him. If he's cool with that. So.
Oh, hello.
Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
You said there was a teapot?
Yes, look at this.
Yeah.
Maybe he should have searched for fungus instead.
Huh.
Look at what is that growing there? Do you want to try it?
I want to see what this teapot does. Can I do any type of check? I don't know if there's anything I can do with, like...
Unless you have a spell that identifies what it is.
Yeah, I don't think there is. I'm just infatuated by it. I guess you can sense that off of me. It's like cool.
Yeah, it's a nice little like a
Yeah.
ceramic, like a light green teapot.
If you don't mind, I have a lot of space in this here pack. I will save it. We can take a look at it later.
Oh, definitely. When we have our chat, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That sword.
Speaking of which, my eyes right now, we're gonna have to talk about that too.
Okay.
Maybe we can teach each other.
Sounds good.
While this is going on, DM, I'd like to be going to the various bodies on this floor of this thing and releasing them in the same way, dissipating them into dust. I don't know if that's...
Okay. You go up to the... Which one are you starting with? I'll say that.
What's the closest one to the door?
The one that's sitting right next to the door is the one that got its shoulder blasted off and is not being absorbed. Yeah.
I'll start with that one.
Okay. And as you do, as it disintegrates, you hear...
One more for the planes. Do right by them, alright? No.
Okay, and then you move on to the next body?
Yep.
All right. You move on to the next body, and you cast Toll the Dead. And as you do, it has no effect on this body. It's almost as if you didn't even cast the spell.
And which body is this? What does it look like?
This is the one that is face down and has vines and growth covering it.
Shia,
Yeah, yes.
does it seem to you that Ildaria... and I sort of like tap roughly on the vines. Might want to keep this one.
I've never, She's tethering the remnants of being to preserve it, perhaps. I never thought that would be part of something Ilduria would engage in.
Or would she?
You would actually know that, natural decay is a pretty common practice with followers of Ilduria. Most of the time, burial is involved, but no caskets usually. It's usually just like you bury people directly into the dirt and then allow the nature to take over. But this seems like just like a natural decay of this body.
Yes, I think nature is in the process of taking her course.
Sort of look crossly at it. Yeah.
With you guys inspecting this strange body on the ground, with Seeker and Flynn looking at this teapot, that is where we're going to end this week's episode.
Yeah.
We're going to call it right there at this mysterious tree. Spooky tree. And
this teapot.
What about the teapot? Though?
What does it do?
It's a teapot.
What does it
with
do?
that, we're going to call it for this week. Thank you all so much for listening, and we can't wait to see you all again next week. Bye, nerds.
Bye, nerds.
Bye, nerds.
Bye, nerds.
Bye, nerds.
Bye, nerds.
Hey guys, it's me, Ethan, the DM. Thank you all so much for listening once again. We had a lot of fun making that episode, so I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Just wanted to say we are on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We're on all of it. So be sure to go over and follow us there. We're also on Patreon, so if you guys want to support, we've got some really cool tier options that you guys can actually help out and participate directly in the campaign. So go over and check that out if you would like. It's also got a bunch of free stuff on there, like some of the soundtrack, as well as the world maps you guys can follow along as the gang adventures across Elbor. It's really cool, so go check it out. And thank you all so much once again for listening. Bye, nerds.